Yeah, good afternoon everyone. I'm just packing my gear up ready to head down to the South Island. So I thought I'd do a quick video just to run through the gear that I'm taking down with me. Trying to get as organised as I can, because once I hit the road I can't turn around and come back and grab stuff if I've forgotten something. So I just do a run through of my gear I'm taking and why I'm taking that gear, and maybe just a few things that people pick up from my gear that they might take on their own trip. I'm flying into Wanaka with a mate of mine. He invited me to go down there on a Wanaka ballot block, and so it's all new country to me down there. Flying in with backcountry helicopters out of Makaroa. It'll be the first time I'm flying with them, and actually the first time in general organising a helicopter trip, and they made it quite easy. A few emails back and forth, very good communication with them, and they told me what I can take, can't take, how to pack the gear, which is bloody helpful. So hopefully you get it all right, and everything goes smoothly as I imagine it will. So backcountry helicopters actually flying me into both blocks. First one's in Wanaka and the second block in Haast. A week later, or like the following week. So yeah, I'll crack onto the gear. Clothing wise, obviously wear the stuff that I take on the day when I'm flying in, and really just one other change of clothing. Balaclava, not only for cold, keeps the bugs off your face and stuff like that too. A few spare shirts, tops and thermals, pants, polar fleece pants, they're just cheap ones. Hats and undies, shorts, one pair of shorts. Wet weather gear, especially pretty wet down the west coast of the South Island, famous for rain. They obviously wet weather pants, waterproof top. Top's more important than the bottom in my opinion for as far as wet weather gear goes. I'm going to take my big bushbuck jacket down. This one here is very warm to wear, as well as the good pockets on it. I love having heaps of pockets, and deep pockets too, with zips rather than domes. So that one will be coming along for the ride. This gear's in no particular order anyway. This is my Halo 2 sleeping bag, Domex, and this is a compression bag that I've got it in. So it presses it down to about half the size of what it is in its original bag. Yeah, I didn't start off with this compression bag, but when you're doing a big trip and you want to squeeze as much gear into your pack as you can, it makes all the difference squeezing it into there. Plus it's waterproof as well. You don't want a wet sleeping bag. Hopefully we don't get too much rain down there. My knife belt, tossing up whether to take that big knife with me or not. I mainly use it for general purpose around here, sticking pigs, deer, everything, do my skinning with it, everything. So but obviously the size of it, I've asked myself, do I need that big knife down there? Possibly not. I do have a spare one, which I'll show you in a second. So, and my pouch here, ammo, lighter, spare batteries and stuff for the GoPro, just anything really, stick in that pouch. It's always handy to have a pouch on there. It's got little individual slots for spare ammo, plus I have some in another bag as well. I like to carry plenty of bullets, so never know when you get a bomb up. And when I have the bullets in, I don't like them rattling around against each other, so it pays to have them wrapped in something so they can't rattle and make noise if you're trying to sneak up. A head torch, very important to have a head torch, not only for just around camp, but if you get caught out way out in the middle of nowhere in the dark. This one here is probably one of the most expensive ones around. Cost me a fortune, but it's money well spent. It's an LED lenser, and it's very bright, rechargeable. I've got recharging gear with me, which you'll see in a second. tossing up whether to take the bug spray or just handle the sandflies, and yeah, that's 150 grams. I don't know if I'll take that with me, but I might do. It's famous for sandflies down there. Socks, taking my Norsewear socks. For a big trip like that, you don't want to have cheap nasty socks that fall to bits. These ones here have stood the test of time, so they're the best socks I've owned, is Norsewear socks. They're not the cheapest socks round, but you get what you pay for. So you want a decent pair of socks and you appreciate good socks, you'll thank me later, trust me. So those are the Norsewear socks. A couple of bushbuck thermal tops, long sleeves, very warm, love those tops. Got my GoPro batteries and power banks and stuff in here. This thing here weighs like a brick, and like I say, I try and cut down on weight as much as I can, but this thing here, you just can't sort of go any lighter than that. It's just batteries, so you need that gear to film, especially if you're trying to do some decent footage. I'll be taking my Hero 13 GoPro and the Hero 9 that I'm filming with here. GPS, this is a Garmin 300i. I is an inReach, so I can communicate with the chopper and that on here. I've got a spare battery for it. The batteries in these are the best batteries I've had out of anything. I bought this for tracking my dogs, but I use it as a normal GPS as well. It's also got the SOS or EPIRB sort of function on the side. If I break a leg or somebody breaks a leg or whatever, I can hit the switch on there. It's very good to have that peace of mind and backup if something goes wrong. So like I say, I can talk to my mates on that if they've got inReach as well. Yeah, it's very handy. So that'll be coming along. Spare batteries for that as well. Solar panel, it's a 21 watt solar panel, which I'm going to hopefully use to charge things up. I've used it in the past, and while I'm out hunting during the day, I'll have this set up, charging the power bank, and I come back to charge the power bank, and use the power bank for charging the devices when I get back, mainly at night time. Food wise, I don't normally eat a lot of breakfast ever, but got some long life milk in here, some porridge, got some drink stuff in here. I'm going to take a bottle of Coke with me, and when that runs out, I'll just be using the orange juice sort of mixed stuff in there. Bag of lollies, can't go without lollies. Food wise, I've just got macaroni cheese and pasta and stuff like that, some noodles, baked beans, got some muesli bars in here. I don't like freeze-dried food, not only for the taste of it, but the price of it I think is crazy. For a little freeze-dried packet for $16, and you're getting probably 200 grams worth of stuff in it. So the only weight in it is when you add water, and then it makes it like a soup, so I don't really like that too much. A few things to nibble on. I don't eat a hell of a lot of food or run on the smell of an oily rag really. Sleeve for or gun sock, I suppose they call it, for the rifle, for the trip in. Once I'm in there and the rifle comes out of that bag, it probably won't go back in because I want it out at ready all the time. Toothbrush, toothpaste, and some soap in there so I can get scrubbed up while I'm in there. Hopefully it's warm enough. Bought this pot and pan set from Temu, very cheap, does the job. I wrap everything up so it doesn't rattle. You don't want stuff rattling around making noise. Obviously the gas bottle in there as well, and that thing there, I bought several of these because I thought, oh, they must be cheap rubbish. That was like $3 or $4 when I bought it, and I've absolutely thrashed that, and it served me quite well. Had no drama with it, so even the ignition thing on it still works. Like I say, I bought several of them thinking that they were going to pack up in no time, but that one's still going, so my other ones are brand new, still haven't been used. Some cooking oil, so hopefully shoot a deer and cook a bit of back steaks or something. But like I say, when I wrap these up, you don't want anything rattling around in the pack making noise, especially if you're trying to stalk up on something. So the way you pack that is as quiet as possible. More GoPro gear, straps. This little knife here was actually gifted to me by Blair. If it's a friend of my father-in-law, I suppose. He's gifted me that knife. It's a very sharp little knife, honey badger. So I'm considering just taking this alone and leaving the big knife at home. Haven't decided yet, but I'll definitely be taking it as a backup as well. It's a sharp little knife. A tent, very important to have a decent tent. So this is the Domex Ascent 2, two-man tent. Up that way. Yeah, it's a very good tent. Not only for space, but the actual shape of it, when it's really blowing a gale and you get some real rough weather, it's shaped like a bloody armadillo, so it really deflects the wind off of my other two tents I've got out here in my shed. Dome tents with just two crossovers over the top. They don't handle the wind anything there like this does. And I like a two-man tent even when I'm on my own, so I can have my gear in the tent with me. And if there is two people, there's enough space on either side. There's doors on either side of this tent, so you can put your gear and your stinking boots outside the tent, but it's still under the shelter of the fly, which is it's a brilliant idea. I suggest to people. On the topic of shelter, I've got a fly. I bought this fly on Temu for about $32, and I stuck this up at Puriura in my campsite in Puriura. Left it there for a month and a half. And I expected it to be shredded by wind by the time I'd got back to it after a month and a half, and it was still just as good as the day I put it up, so that was quite surprising. Stitching held up on it, so we'll put that to the test down south. Hopefully the weather's not too rough. These little rubbery boots here, I've just got these for around camp. I've actually seen, not this brand, but very similar. They fold down tiny. Another one here somewhere. Yeah. So they fold down tiny, very lightweight, and I don't want to be seen wearing Crocs, so I'd rather be seen wearing these. Yeah, if you want to still wear socks around camp and to keep your feet warm and you don't want to get wet socks, these are the way to go. So yeah, be putting those to the test. And the video I've seen online of these recently, or similar ones, they were about $50. I looked them up, that particular brand, and these one here were about $3. So there's more cost savings there. Emergency poncho, I've had to pull one of these out before. Keeps the rain, and you can put it right over top of your whole backpack and everything. So that's good to carry around, just in case you get caught out and you've left your wet weather gear back at the camp. You can carry that in your little day bag or whatever. Got a new bino harness. I don't normally use binoculars really for this type of hunting locally around here, around Mangakino, which is in the central North Island. But yeah, this bino harness, I just paid $15 for this, so yeah, like I say, do everything as cheaply as you can. The binoculars in there, and they're not so cheap. They're actually range finding binoculars, so they should come in handy. I'm pretty good at guessing distances anyway, but just to confirm things for that. Pouches on the sides, obviously. I've got some batteries in here, spare batteries for the thermal handheld, which is the Pulsar XQ30 Pro. You've seen that in a previous video if you follow my channel. Very good thermal. That picks up stuff so fast when you're looking around with it. There's almost no need for the binoculars when you've got a thermal handheld, but I do like to really have a good look with the binoculars as well, plus the rangefinder on there could come in handy if I have to try and pull off some long shots. Hopefully I'm trying to get as close as I can during the raw period to get good footage. So yeah, bino harness, and Dwight's have one exactly the same, selling the Spiker brand, which if you compare this to a Spiker one, $129 on special, $15 on Temu, can't go wrong. Toilet wipes, and this is my sleeping pad, also off Temu. bought this, it was very cheap, I think from memory about $30 around about. Folds down quite small, and actually blows up thicker than my other one I've got, which I'll show you in a second. Blows up quite thick and it's quite comfortable. It's got a foot pump in it built in to pump it up. It's very useful. This one here I've also been using for quite a while now. It's a Kathmandu, but you see the size difference. When you're packing down as tight as you can into a backpack, the smaller the better. Bit skeptical whether it's going to last five or 7 nights or whatever. I'm going for the first trip, and then the second trip's 4 nights, I think. I'll be taking this one down as a backup, but I'm going to run the gauntlet and run this one here the first trip in, and hopefully it doesn't pop on me or go flat. So yeah, wish me luck with that. Got a cover for the backpack if I'm walking around, rain cover. It's a Tatonka one, but I don't have a Tatonka backpack. Not that rich yet. Taking a day pack for carrying drinks. Got straps on it as well, so if I do shoot a stag, you can just strap the head on that and carry it with the backpack with the straps. It's more comfortable. Put some back stakes or whatever in there. You can fit quite a bit of gear in that. I don't know how much it takes, actually probably a 15 litre pack or something. Plenty of little pouches for batteries and stuff like that. My backpack, it's a 65 litre pack, and this is $119 I paid for this on Mountain Warehouse website, and I've got another Mountain Warehouse one exactly the same, which I've been thrashing for years, and the reason I'm not taking that one now is it stinks of trout because I've been using it for carrying trout. So yeah, this one here should carry enough gear in it for what I need for the 7-day trip, and then the 4 nights on the second one. So yeah, like I say, really looking forward to this trip, and not so much looking forward to the drive down to Wellington, but once I'm on the ferry, I've been on the ferry a few times before. That's always a good trip for me so far. Yeah, well, a couple more things here. Boots. Be leaving the red bands behind on this trip, sadly, but don't want to be mucking around in the mountains with the red bands on, so put some decent boots. I bought these a while ago, actually. I paid $3.50 for these, so they're not top of the line boots or anything, but they seem to have held alright, and I give them a good waxing and stuff last night. I done 16 Ks in them yesterday, chasing a stag around for a couple of hours, and I didn't actually get the stag, but give them a good run around anyway. But these boots are very comfortable, so they'll be coming along. Got a pair of gaiters. First time I ever wore gaiters. Well, I'd seen them being used on TV quite a bit and on YouTube, and I thought, oh, I'll get myself a pair of gaiters, because when I went into the first time I went into the mountains and I got spiked to hell by I think it's Spaniard grass, or I call it spear grass, because it stabs the hell out of your legs, and I noticed the domes on it, they were quite scratched the first time I used it. So it just shows how much you bash your legs around on rocks and sticks and stuff. So yeah, can't go wrong with gaiters. As far as rifles goes, I'm going to be taking this old beast here, which is probably over 60 years old. It's a BSA Hunter 7x57 caliber, which is I think the caliber is about 129 years old, and this rifle in particular is probably 60 plus, which is sort of made well before I was even born. It's got a Bushnell 3 to 9 power on it, so yeah, plenty of scope for what I'm going to need it for. And the 7x57 is an underrated caliber. There's YouTube videos where they mention a guy shooting over 800 elephants with one, so yeah, you can't go wrong. Plenty of ammo for it, and yeah, and the ammo doesn't cost a fortune either. No need for any 300 Win Mags and stuff around there, or in New Zealand in general, in my opinion. Yes, that's about it with my gear. Thinking about taking a spotting scope as well. My brother gave me this one to loan. He didn't really use it, so there's nowhere around here to really use spotting scopes. So yeah, this thing here, I was thinking about cutting. It's actually quite light. I've put another tripod on it, just from another cheap cheap little device I've got, so that should hold up alright if I do decide to take that. And hopefully I can get some footage. I've got an attachment for the phone for the back. This was a couple of dollars as well on Temu. No need for expensive gear when you can get it done with the cheap stuff. So yeah, so that's about it for gear really. Taking a roaring horn, which is just a cheap bit of plastic pipe. Just saw off a piece of alkathene pipe or something like that. Yeah, and get down there and get into it. So I'll do a bit of videoing on my trip down there. I'm going down the west coast, and it's my first time travelling down the west coast of the South Island, even though I lived down the bottom of the South Island for 4 years. Yeah, so it's going to be a good trip hopefully, and certainly a change of scenery, change of hunting style to what I'm used to around here. There's some big open country down there to hunt, as well as some bush stuff hopefully, and hopefully get into some good heads down there. So yeah, first trip is with my mate Brady, and then second trip with another mate Jared, both of which I met on Facebook over the years, and another guy I haven't met yet, but if he's a mate of Jared's, he'll be a mate of mine too. So, and he's from the North Island here, can't go wrong. Yeah, so we'll sort of carry on now, pack all this gear up, get it all squared away into the pack, and mark everything off as I do it so I'm not missing anything. And yeah, get the vehicle loaded up. I'm hitting the road at about 1 o'clock in the morning to head down to the Wellington ferry. If any other hunters are on that ferry heading south, don't be shy and say hi if you spot me on the ferry, or even on my travels down there. So yeah, see how we go.